G'day, mates. We back. We got some more Datamine goodness for you. This time it's going to be for the Butler and Maid banner. So we took a look at refines earlier, and now let's go ahead and take a look at these brand new units. Unfortunately, they didn't update the Meet the New Heroes thing where they have all the artworks. So unfortunately, we're going to have to take a look at only the neutral artworks here, courtesy, of course, of Mr. Gengar and Tsukasa. And of course, as always, if you're a fan of the data miners, then definitely check out their Ko-Fi and go ahead and give them a little donation there for their thanks. So let's take a look at stats first, and then we're going to take a look at skill inheritance for all the new fodder stuff and etc., etc. So we're going to start things off with Ira and Mercedes up first. I have no idea why these two are paired together. Really doesn't make much sense. Ira's like so badass, and then Mercedes is like the nice big sister of three houses. So I don't really see what they have in common, but okay. So 40 HP, we have 44 attack, we have 46 speed, we have 32 defense, and then we have 17 res. We can go ahead and take a look here. That gives them a 179 BST overall. Boons and Banes have not been posted yet. We can actually refresh here and see if that's changed, but I don't think that it has. Let's see. Yeah, no Boons and Banes posted yet, unfortunately. Maybe we'll come back later when we finish looking at everything else and the Boons and Banes will be there. But as far as Ira is concerned, this unit looks pretty nuts. They can move a million spaces with Kanto. They have this new thing called Kanto Distant, where it just gives you the same amount of Kanto as spaces moved before you attack, and then you get +1 on top of that. So kind of like the opposite of Kanto Rem, where Kanto Rem is giving you the remaining spaces that you didn't move. Kanto Distant is using the amount of distance moved, and then +1 on top of it. So the more spaces moved, the more you can Kanto away, which is obviously what we want. This unit also has this new skill called Flow Desperation, which allows them to just hit twice in a row. They have a whole bunch of damage. They have this new special skill that essentially has 0 hit cooldown. So a lot of people have been talking about this Ira. Also, their harmonic skill, I think, is one of the strongest now, because it gives your whole team, well, all your characters from not Jugdrill, but FE4 and all your characters from 3 houses are going to be gaining speed +1. No, they're getting boots. They're getting movement +1. They get attack and speed up 6. They also get resonant blades, so it's essentially like attack and speed up 10 there. And it's just crazy. And then it also nullifies any penalties active on them. So if they have like stat drops and they don't want those, then you can just cleanse them. So just really good stuff. Really powerful unit. All right, let's go ahead and move on to Lysithea up next. I would say this is probably the correct order as well of how I would order the units. They're probably the #1 most wanted, followed by Lysithea, then Sigurd, and then the 2 demotes, of course. So Lysithea is just cracked. She's got 38 HP, we got 46 attack, 46 speed, 20 defense, and 22 res. She is very much a glass cannon, but that is not relevant at all. I don't even know if glass cannon is the correct term for her. She's more like a glass nuclear missile. Considering how much true damage she gets, she basically gets 80% total bonuses as true damage on herself or allies in 2 spaces, and then 80% of foes' penalties or foes in 2 spaces as true damage. So, good luck tanking this. Especially considering she's got Desperation 4, so she's hitting 4 times in a row. She already nullifies effects that can prevent her counterattacks. If you were to give her triangle attack support from Cordelia or Catria, I really don't see how you're surviving this. Like, she's just going to hit you 4 times, and she's deleting whatever she hits. There's no safe way to tank this. So, good luck, man. These offensive threats are just, like, outrageous right now. Why even bother running bait units? Like, what's the point? I've actually stopped. When I play Summoner Duels now, I don't even run far save or near save. I just run 4 offensive units and a dancer, pretty much. So, yeah, I mean, that's just my playstyle, though. Why try to bait when you could just beat the enemies to death, right? Okay, so Sigurd's up next. My favorite artwork on the banner. Absolutely. I mean, the lovely Suzuki Rika always hits. So we got 40 HP. We got 46 attack. We have 31 speed. 35 defense, and then 16 res. So Sigurd's got a overall BST of 168. If I didn't bring up Lysithia's BST, it's 172 right there. So Sigurd has this new special, Chivalric Aura. It's not quite as strong as Holy Knight Aura, but rightfully so because this guy's a ranged unit. Would be a little ridiculous if they let him move 4 spaces and then attack from 2. So he seems like a side grade, I guess, to Legendary Sigurd. They're different, they do different things, but for the most part, what you really want out of this guy in Legendary Sigurd is to just have them suicide in, activate their special, and then the rest of your team is going to be dive bombing the enemy. Particularly good in Aether Raids, I would say, Aether Raids defense, where you can actually run this guy on any season. He's not locked like Legendary Sigurd is, where you can only run him in win season. So you'd be able to run this guy whenever you want, pretty much, and give him whatever blessing you want, so that is an advantage there. He has Fire Sweep, except it's not full Fire Sweep. He still gets counterattacked by bows and daggers for some reason. I'm not really too sure why that is, but, I mean, sure enough. I think he nullifies DR as well. Actually, does he? I can't remember. I don't think he does. I feel like he could have been a little bit better. They gave him Seal Res, but I would have preferred if they gave him Lull Attack and Res 4 for his B skill. So, I mean, he's definitely a good unit. I don't want to sound like I'm being down on him, but compared to Lysithia, who just annihilates anything, and then Ira, of course, being able to just move like the wind, it seems like they could have just gave Chivalric Aura the same effect as Holy Knight Aura and give him the +1 movement at the start of the turn. But it is what it is. Alright, Ferdinand's up next. Ferdinand is going to be our 4-star demote of the banner, so you'll be able to summon him as a 4-star if you want. We got 40 HP, 42 attack, 45 speed, 21 defense, and 25 res. And that gives him a BST overall of 173. Unfortunately, that's nowhere near high enough to justify going for the +10 if you care about arena scoring at the very least. As far as does this matter for just merging him up as a merge project, well, he's got a pretty nice attack and speed combo, which is rare to see. I think he's actually around the same as Zephyr was. So Zephyr, our recent Red Tome flyer that we got from the GHBs, it's nice to see that this guy can sort of compete in terms of stats. We also got a Tharja not too long ago. I can't remember what color that Tharja was. The Bikini Tharja. But she had a similar stat line to this as well. She was also a flying tome unit, and she was pretty solid just based on her stat line. So whenever we get an arcane green tome, there's no telling what it's going to do. But whenever we get that could definitely be looking really nice on this guy. And for that matter, his weapon is actually not too bad either. For an inheritable green tome for the time being. Gives Canto 1, and then it also gives attack and speed up 5, and then it nullifies... What does it nullify again? I can't even remember. I think it nullifies the enemy's, like, it nullifies wary fighter effects, so he guaranteed doubles. I think that's how it worked, but I can't remember. But yeah, it's not too bad of a green tome for the time being until we get the arcane green tome. So there's definitely value here. I know a lot of people like Ferdinand, so if you're interested in +10ing him, it's not like it's the worst idea. He doesn't score, so for you score fiends that care about arena modes, that's not going to be relevant to you. But for people that just care about building a potentially strong option as far as offense goes, he seems like he could get the job done. And then finally, we have Tailtew, who is an infantry green tome type. So she's going to be our Tempest Trial prize. She's got 39 HP. We have 42 attack. We have 44 speed. We have 21 defense and then 31 res. And that gives Tailtew a 177 BST overall. So we can quickly go ahead and take a look at her weapon over here. So Tea Cake Tower, 12 might, 2 range, inheritable of course. If unit initiates combat or is in 2 spaces of an ally, grants all stats of 4 to unit. And inflicts a penalty on foes' attack speed, defense, and res during combat, equal to the current bonus on each of foes' stats times 2. Okay, that's basically penalty doubler. So, assuming the enemies are at like -6 to all stats, then you could just do an extra -6 to all stats there. Actually, that's not too bad. For an inheritable green tome, yeah, she's green, right? Yeah, that's not too shabby. That's okay. I might like Ferdinand's a little bit more for the Kanto 1, but this could work for a bulky unit that's trying to just be a stat ball or just try to win stat checks. This is not too bad. All right, she's got Reciprocal Aid, Stillwater 3, Drive Attack 2, Complete Dookie. Stillwater's okay, I guess, if you're trying to get level 4. But the problem with this is that we just got Fire Flood. Wait, no, Fire Flood doesn't give... It doesn't give active bonuses. It gives in-combat bonuses. For some reason, I thought that the new, like, gold border boost skills were giving, like, hard stats, but no. So, okay, Stillwater still has some places where you can run it, but it's only specifically for, like, AoE units that want to have the raw stats. Whereas, like I said, the boost skills, Fire Flood boost, I think is just better if you're just trying to get stats in combat and not care about like your actual raw stat values. So there we go with that. Our new Tempest Trial Sacred Seals. This is actually good, man. So we're getting Attack and Speed Catch, probably the most long-awaited catch skill, so that's nice. And then we're getting Bold Fighter. Yes, please. Dude, Bold Fighter is actually a really nice seal to get. Giving you a guaranteed follow-up and the special ramp. That's good, man. A Special Fighter would make a nice seal as well. So they can go ahead and release these level 4 fighter skills like Savvy Fighter 4. You can go ahead and run that and then still get like Bold Fighter or still get Vengeful Fighter or whichever other fighter when they start releasing more fighter skills. So this is really nice that they're going to add fighter seals to the Tempest Trials now. That's very good. All right, let's double back here. I think the only other thing we have to check for is Boons and Banes, and we're basically out of here. So let's go ahead and see if they've been posted. I gotta learn how to calculate them myself. There is a way to do it, but no one wants to share. No one wants to give the formula out. So if anyone knows the formula to calculate Boons and Banes, could you please tell me? So I don't have to wait for other people to post them. I could just get them right away before I start the video. All right, let's see here. All right, no one's posted Boons and Banes. It looks like average Fae player says Ira missed out on a super boon. Carla is better than Ira. I don't know about that, man. Everyone knows Ira's the better character than Carla. I don't even know why Carla has been so loved in Fae. Carla's a literal nobody in FE7, but Ira's like one of the strongest Gen 1 units in a game that's all about calves. Like, FE4 is the calf game, man, and then Ira was still one of the best Gen 1 units despite being on foot. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just rambling now. So that's going to wrap us up for these Datamines, guys. Let me know in the comments section down below what y'all think about all this. And, oh, before we completely forget to take a look at Inheritance for the new skills. So, level 5 for Speed and Res Plus, Rally Speed and Res Plus on Ferdy. We got Wind Sweep 3 at 4-star, which is good. Speed and Res Rain 3 at 5-star. Alright, Tailtoo's Weapon, of course, is 5-star. Reciprocal Aid at 4-star. Stillwater 3 at 5-star. And then Drive Attack 2 at 4-star. Would have been nice the other way around with those two. Okay, so Desperation 4 has no restrictions at all, which we would come to expect. The original Desperation had no restrictions either. So, really strong fodder skill. It kind of reminds me of Brash Assault 4, where it's just a really solid skill you can put on anybody for the most part. Not everyone wants it. It's not optimal on everybody, but it's still helpful to have on anybody. So this is the type of skill you want to give to a rearmed hero so they can just pass it around easily. All right, Chivalric Aura. Of course, I would... that'd be something if this was inheritable. Okay, Supreme Astra, of course, is also locked to Ira. And then finally, Flow Desperation. So this one is going to be for Flyer and Cavalry melee only, by the looks of this. So yeah, that's pretty much what we surmised. Speed and Defense -4 was the giveaway. Defense -4 means that it's only for melee, or else they would have did like Res and Defense and Res -4 instead of Speed. And then also all the flow skills were only for Cavs and Flyers. So there you guys go. So once again, that is going to wrap us up for this video, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed the Datamine coverage. And this is your boy Tacho signing out. So take care, fellas. and I'll catch y'all again on the flip side.